Last time on Dragon Ball, Krypton is approached by the Cold Force as they wanted them to join their ever-growing planet catalog. Krypton declines the offer due to their scientific superiority. Cold begins to plan an attack to take the resources by force, but is hesitant due to the dangers of their science. A young Frieza is the one who begins an attack, destroying Kandor and threatening to do the same to the planet should Krypton not surrender. The House of Zod enters into war with the Frieza Force, while Jor-El realizes that Frieza has no intention of accepting a surrender. He will destroy Krypton. With no time left, Jor-El and Lara send their child out into the void of space, hoping he can reach a planet with a yellow star to give him a fighting chance, just as the planet explodes. The boy's future is decided now. A Kryptonian raised on Earth. What if Superman was in Dragon Ball?
The spaceship crashes onto planet Earth, where it is found by an old man named Gohan. He is surprised to see a kid inside it. He chooses to name him Clark. He raises him as his own son. The boy, though cheerful, is very sickly. Thankfully, Gohan is able to help him out and get used to this planet. Gohan trains Clark in martial arts, though the boy isn't very interested in it. He has natural power and skills far above any normal human, which surprises Gohan. Clark's senses are far above that of mere humans, and he has difficult times with it. It's even painful. To help him deal with this, Gohan asks for help from Roshi, who gladly accepts, and together they help Clark meditate and use ki to ease his senses. One day, Clark is nearly struck by a car and even shot in the head. However, the boy was completely fine. The girl who shot him was named Bulma, and she apologizes profusely. She was looking for the Dragon Balls, and Clark offers a little bit of his help. He wants Gohan to come along too, but Gohan tells him that it would be a good challenge for the boy to finally go out and see the world by himself. Clark is a little sad, but he accepts. He only takes his 4-star Dragon Ball and the Power Pole with him. Before Clark leaves, Gohan gives him a gi made out of the blanket that Clark was wrapped inside when he was found by Gohan. There was a large S shape in the center, which neither of them knew what it meant, but loved anyhow. The adventures introduce Clark to several fun people and creatures. Always eager to help, he extends a hand out to a lost turtle, a village under siege by a pig, and many more. These adventures are akin to those that Clark had with the Legion of Superheroes. Since Gohan is still alive, he was able to teach Clark about ki, so Clark is a bit wiser in that subject. In this version, Clark can't fly just yet, so he gladly accepts the flying Nimbus from Master Roshi. Roshi, of course, recognizes Clark immediately, but he doesn't really say anything. Clark is a little smarter and more powerful compared to Goku at the beginning of the series. I'd say he's as strong as Goku was after the training with Roshi, so he is able to take down enemies such as the Pilaf gang and the Rabbit Boss with ease. He's still joined by friends such as Yamcha and Oolong along the way. In fact, the battle between Yamcha and Clark is such a surprising one, where Yamcha is completely outmatched. Together, they summon the dragon, as Clark stops the Pilaf gang from stealing the Dragon Balls. The team realizes that they don't have a wish anymore, so Bulma offers up the wish to Clark, and she says that he deserves it for helping everybody along the way. Clark takes a second to think, and finally asks,
What am I?
Shenron takes a second.
You were a boy sent to Earth from a doomed planet. You were saved by your parents in order to be spared. Your planet was destroyed by an evil emperor.
Clark is in disbelief, but ultimately realizes this must be the truth. Now he wants to further his power and learn of his heritage. Now that their adventure is over, Clark heads to Kame House, as Roshi had offered him to train. Though Clark isn't exactly in love with martial arts and violence, he does want to learn more about his hidden power and how to use it for good. Therefore, Roshi teaches him, along with Krillin, about ki, meditating, patience, and more, with a good dose of martial art techniques as well. He has a lot of the same training as Goku did during this time. The day comes for the Tenkaichi Budokai. Though Clark wasn't going to participate at first, he is convinced by Krillin. The two do very well in the tournament, but the final battle is ultimately Clark versus Jackie Chun. Though Clark is very powerful, he stands no chance against Jackie's martial arts skills and techniques. Clark is ultimately defeated, though Jackie had a very hard time winning. Once the tournament is over, Clark realizes that he wishes to do more than just fight. He wants to help. So after saying goodbye to his friends, he listens in and focuses on the nearby cry of someone. This someone was Snow at Jingle Village. He heads down there and defeats the Red Ribbon forces terrorizing the town. This begins Clark's journey against the Red Ribbon Army, as he realizes the threat they pose. From Muscle Tower to Silver and Blue, Clark is able to defeat all the soldiers as he collects the Dragon Balls, so they don't get them. With Bulma's Dragon Raider's help, it is through this journey that Clark experiments with more of his abilities, including freezing Tao Pai Pai with his breath and leaping over incredible heights to get to Korin Tower. However, Tao defeats Clark. The Red Ribbon scientist named Dr. Gero had caught wind of the rare artifact called Kryptonite and gave some to Tao to use as a weapon. It was carved into a knife, but the stabbing wasn't what hurt Clark. This allowed him to defeat Clark, though Clark wasn't so sure about what had happened. Korin's training made him stronger, but the most valuable lesson from Korin is Clark getting taught how to deal with pain, which he uses against the Kryptonite. Clark freezes Tao's hand holding up the knife, and keeps at a distance with his heat vision. It hurts, but he can finally defeat Tao once Upa gets a hold of the Kryptonite and chucks it into a lake. Clark is actually able to save Bora from getting killed, so all he has left to do is take care of the elite headquarters. In a flash, Clark breaks through the ceiling of the army base and lands in front of Red, who tries to shoot him. Clark tells him that enough is enough, when suddenly a giant mech arm grabs onto him. The army base is destroyed through the battle with Black, though Clark tries to save soldiers here and there. He also saves a scientist, who is disgusted by Clark's mere touch. The army has a lot of kryptonite, more than just a single knife. Clark tries to keep away from it as much as possible. Clark eventually defeats the mech, taking down the army for now. Once he returns to Kame House, he explains everything to his friends. He feels a bit uneasy about it, as he realizes that enemies could come for him at any moment, and for them, since now they know that he's out there, at least what he looks like. Bulma pitches an idea to Clark to have him work at Capsule Corp as a front. That way, he could also be in the city and watch for people he wants to help. Clark agreed, and they both go to Capsule Corp. Once there, Clark works on his disguise with the help of Bulma, and ultimately lands on a simple pair of glasses and a lab coat. His gi from now on would be his outfit when he was helping out people. He had to brainstorm a name. Many came up: Great Man, Superman, but Bulma suggested Superman because of the S on his chest. Bulma's dad also helped out Clark by creating a room where he could go and train all out. But before he could move in completely, Clark went and visited his old grandpa. He was a bit sickly, but had one last gift for him. When he was looking throughout the ship that Clark landed in, he found a strange crystal. The two spent some time together before Clark left. He and Dr. Briefs analyzed the crystal, but not much progress was done. One day, while out on his travels, Clark had a weird feeling about the crystal. He ended up on the ruins of Muscle Tower, where he planted the crystal, and which grew into a huge fortress. Clark was amazed and excited. There he found many things and artifacts, though he didn't have much time to explore it all. He did, however, find a bit more about his own life. His name was Kal-El.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back. And now back to our show.
He was eventually invited by his friends to the next tournament. He wasn't going to participate, it just wasn't for him, but he was going to go enjoy it anyways. Before it, he got some training with his friends done, which made them a bit stronger too. He was perplexed by how awfully powerful and ruthless Ten Shinhan was, but at the very least, him and Krillin had a great match as the finals, where they both learned about each other deeply. Krillin was more powerful than in the regular universe, and surprised everybody with a powerful Kamehameha, an attack that Clark and Roshi could only do prior, but Ten Shinhan was ultimately the winner. After the tournament, both him and Roshi approached Ten Shinhan and explained him honor, love, and friendship. Ten Shinhan was changed and saw the error in his ways. However, not everything was right. As soon as the tournament happened, Piccolo attacked. Knowing that Clark had a few of the Dragon Balls, he sent his children to attack the Dragon Team. In the process, Krillin was murdered. Clark was enraged and already changed into his Superman gi, called down the Nimbus, but it was too slow. The rage he felt led him to try something crazy as he leapt off the Nimbus. With a flash, Superman began to fly at lightning speed. This wasn't ki-based flight, but rather something innate to him. It was strange, but incredible. He needed to catch up to Tambourine. Tambourine was powerful and had killed a lot of the tournament fighters already. A nearby samurai named Yajirobe witnessed their battle, but realized that Superman was struggling a little bit. He decided to help out, if anything, to get to eat the monster. A swift strike from his sword cut off Tambourine's tail, and Superman was able to kill him with eye blasts. Superman was in pain. He was not only hurt by the battle, but also saddened by his friend's death. Yajirobe impressed him, and he thanked him for the help. Not long after, King Piccolo arrived, and Superman thought he was ready. However, Piccolo had obtained kryptonite from the Pilaf gang, who had found it sometime after their battle with Clark at the ruins of the Red Ribbon Fortress. This meant that the battle was not going in his favor, though he did very well. The kryptonite proved to be too much when his eye blast couldn't keep up with the swarm of minions that came at him, and he was knocked out, and the Dragon Ball stolen. Yajirobe, who had run away at the sight of Piccolo, came back and took Superman to get help. Superman told him that it was best to take him to Corn Tower, as he was able to defeat a kryptonite-wielding bad guy the last time he was there. Yajirobe has a hard time taking Superman up the tower, but he finally manages to. Afterwards, Korin gives them both a senzu bean. After some talk, Superman realizes that he tried to do this all on his own, and that his friends would be able to help in this battle, though he was reluctant, as Krillin had died. Korin then gives Superman the sacred water, which makes him significantly stronger than before. He is going to rest a bit more, but then he hears Roshi's voice in pain. Without thinking, he grabs Yajirobe and rushes to the battle site. He got there just in time before Roshi attempted the Mafuba on a newly powered up Piccolo. He had killed the dragon and wished for youth. Superman told Roshi to take care of the minions. He will take care of Piccolo. Yajirobe is reluctant, but draws his sword, and a nearby Tenshinhan joins in the battle. Piccolo instantly draws kryptonite, but Superman was ready this time. He could keep at a distance, but the other three took care of Piccolo's men. Superman uses Ice Breath to freeze Piccolo, though he knew it wouldn't keep him forever. Piccolo was very upset and broke free. However, Yajirobe cut off Piccolo's arm, which sent the kryptonite flying off. Piccolo regrew his arm, surprising everyone, but without the kryptonite, he stood no chance. Superman's aura burst bright, pushing back any enemy that could come to him. He then fired a Kamehameha at Piccolo, which Roshi joined in. While trying to push the blast back, Piccolo sped out one final egg far away. Tenshinhan wanted to go after it, but he and Yajirobe had to keep the demons at bay, while Superman and Roshi blasted at Piccolo. Bulma, Yamcha, and some of the others then arrived. Yamcha was very hurt from the battle against Tenshinhan, so he couldn't do much to help. Superman and Roshi staggered Piccolo, but he was able to tank the blast. That is, until Superman uses his heat vision on Piccolo's arm. This causes him to lose grip and get consumed by the attack, and the monster was defeated. The team finishes off the rest of the villains and celebrates proudly. They finally got some time to rest. However, Superman was still upset about Krillin. He had planned on using the Dragon Balls, but now the dragon was gone. Roshi then thought of something and told Clark to go to his grandpa. Clark did so and found his grandpa happy to see him. He told them about everything, but Gohan explained that he felt Piccolo's energy, and also Clark's. He just knew that Clark was going to win. He then gave his grandson the power pole he had left behind some time ago, telling him to go to Corn Tower with it. Gohan also wanted to go to Roshi's and spend some time there, so Superman took him there. Once at Corn Tower, Clark showed Korin the power pole. The cat smirked and showed him the way up. Even if Superman could fly, there wasn't any way for him to get to Kami's lookout without first using the power pole. Superman arrived at the lookout, where a new set of challenges would arrive, beginning with Mr. Popo. Eventually, he got to meet Kami, who instructed Popo to remake the dragon statue and bring back Shenron. This allowed Superman to wish back Krillin. The two of them got to spend a lot of time together, as Clark convinced Krillin to become a police officer at the city, so the two of them could protect it together. Kami also helped Superman further control his power and ki. With Superman's different attitude than Goku's, all of the heroes on Earth try to become a bit more proactive when it comes to helping people, rather than just training for their own sake. Eventually, Earth begins to recognize some of them, and sees them as superheroes. For the next few years, Superman watches over the world, with Krillin by his side, disguising himself as a regular Capsule Corp employee. He even started to get some feelings for Bulma, who he spent every day with, and Bulma got those feelings back. If he wasn't saving people, he was at the Fortress of Solitude, learning everything he could about Krypton. He didn't train much, if at all. It just wasn't for him. He would much rather help the world. Time passes, and the next tournament arrives. The team meets up at the entrance, where Superman helps out a little girl with a balloon. He wasn't going to enter, but he was there to support his friends. He would also be in the lookout for any trouble. When the tournament starts, Clark is surprised to see a reborn Tao Pai Pai and a mysterious girl. The tournament was the most explosive yet, and the Dragon team was victorious for the most part. Chi-Chi turned out to be the mysterious girl. She had entered to see her old crush, Clark. They had known each other after Clark had helped out her father by freezing over the castle that was on fire. However, she noticed that there is something between Clark and Bulma from the arena looking onto the stands, so she decides to instead focus on her martial arts. The last battle of the tournament is Ten Shin Han vs Piccolo. At this point, Piccolo had defeated Shen and eaten a bottle with Kami's spirit inside of it. Superman was the only one that knew what had happened, and he knew there was something he had to do. He snuck on back to change into a Superman outfit and waited to see if Ten Shin Han could handle it. This went beyond a tournament. It was the world's safety matter. Ten Shin Han was about to lose, but when the announcer was going to declare Piccolo as the winner, Superman landed on the arena, and he declared himself as the last-minute entry to the tournament. People cheered, as he had become a symbol of hope throughout the world. The announcer wasn't thrilled by the breaking of the rules, but he still announced it. Piccolo was excited to battle his father's killer, and Superman was excited to have a good challenge. The battle was explosive, with the stage getting destroyed. Once Piccolo became giant, Superman completely froze him in place, with his mouth open wide, as he was about to blast him. He then jumped in and got Kami out. Nearly immediately, Piccolo burst through the ice with a blast. Superman knew he had to end it quickly. Superman told everybody to get away, which Krillin and Ten Shin Han helped out with. He concentrated his full power and ki into his core, just to explode it out into a huge blast, named the Super Flare. Piccolo managed to create a sphere of ki to protect himself, but even so, he was completely knocked out cold. Superman was out of power. He probably couldn't even fly. Kami was out of the bottle and wanted to kill Piccolo. However, Superman wouldn't let him just kill someone he liked that. But before they knew it, Piccolo was gone. Superman told everybody not to worry. He would be around in case he did anything again. He then grabbed onto Bulma's hand, calling down the flying Nimbus, and flying off. The two of them would spend more time together and fall in love, eventually getting married. Years would pass, and now Clark and Bulma have a son, who Clark named Gohan, after his grandfather. We open up this next scene with a little Gohan and a grown-up Superman looking at a grave. They smile happily, and Superman tells Gohan to meet his grandfather. Soon after, they leave for Kame House along with Bulma, who they pick up. However, not all is well, as in a small town a ship crashes onto Earth. People gather around and discover a girl with a cape, with an S shape covering her. One person reaches out, but she grabs his hand and breaks it. People start to get scared and attack the girl, who pushes them off before flying away. Superman hears something while hanging out with his friends and tells Krillin that it's time to go. Krillin nods. Everyone is worried, but they are excited for a new adventure. Hey everyone, this is Smugstick, and I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a lot of fun to do, a lot of twists and turns, and I learned a lot as well. This was actually a collaboration between me and a good friend of mine over at Geeks for Fun. He will have his own video up on his channel about what if Goku had landed on DC's Earth, and I know it would be a lot of fun. So, if you want to watch that, be sure to click in the description down below and go over there. Be sure to check out some of their other stuff and subscribe. They are awesome people over there. Be sure to share, comment, and subscribe on this video. Tell me what other what-ifs you want to see, and maybe I will feature your comment in the next one. The Smug Squad is almost at 25,000 subscribers, which is an amazing feat for me. So thanks everybody for the love and support. Until we meet again, see ya!
Hey, it's me, Superman. It sounds like someone is causing trouble on Earth, but is that the House of El emblem? Just who is this mysterious woman? Krillin, come help me. Next time on Dragon Ball. What if Superman was in Dragon Ball? The mysterious woman is Superman's cousin? Don't miss it.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Smugstick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.